For centuries, contemplative traditions have explored the profound transition of consciousness that we call death. What these deep inquiries consistently suggest about the first moments after we pass is something so transformative it shifts our entire understanding of this natural journey. These insights aren't drawn from a single voice, but from a timeless stream of human awareness, passed down through generations of deep introspection into the very nature of existence. These explorations offer a consistent and detailed perspective on the process of dying that invites contemplation, moving beyond the narratives we often hear. Before we explore the 5 most common experiences that surface from these deep wells of wisdom, allow yourself a moment of stillness. Invite these perspectives into your awareness. What makes these teachings so powerful is their universality. They echo across different times and cultures, arising whenever consciousness turns inward to question the great journey of leaving the physical form behind. Based on this enduring wisdom, here are 5 of the most consistently described experiences that occur in the immediate moments after physical life ceases. The first profound experience is a gentle adjustment of awareness. From a place of deep reflection, we learn that the spirit does not instantly recognize its new state of freedom. Ancient wisdom describes this as a gradual awakening, a slow unfurling into a new dimension of being. The journey of awareness does not abruptly sever its connection to what it knew. Instead, there's a flow, a transitional space where you slowly acclimate to this new way of perceiving. The continuity of your consciousness is maintained, but it must learn to navigate without the familiar anchor of a physical body. What's particularly insightful is how this period of adjustment mirrors the spiritual readiness cultivated during your life. It is said that those who fostered a connection to their inner stillness and understood the soul's journey find this transition to be a smoother, more peaceful passage. During this time, the spirit might instinctively try to engage in familiar patterns or reach out to those it loves, not yet fully grasping the change. Those whose lives were deeply entangled with the material world may linger in this phase, like a boatman reluctant to leave a familiar shore. But for those who cultivated inner peace and accepted the continuity of life, this phase passes with grace and speed. And here our exploration deepens. This leads us to the second insight, a truth shared across many contemplative traditions over the ages. The energy body, you might call it the life force body, holds the memory of sensation for a time after death. This idea is a cornerstone of understanding the soul's gentle passage. Ancient teachings suggest that we have layers of being: the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. The life force body acts as a compassionate bridge between your physical life and your spiritual existence. It's understood that this energetic blueprint can temporarily retain the echo of physical feelings. This serves as a transitional space, helping the spirit adapt to its new, formless nature. This teaching illuminates why a spirit might initially feel a sense of confusion. They may perceive feelings that seem physical, but are actually energetic memories, fading gently like the warmth of a setting sun as the soul embraces its new state. What makes this so profound is how it reveals the graceful nature of this journey. Instead of an abrupt shift, it is a flow from one state of being to another, with your life force body serving as a gentle guide during this sacred transition. It is also taught that how long one feels these energetic echoes depends on the individual path, influenced by one's spiritual cultivation, the nature of their passing, and their attachments to physical life. The third transformative experience involves an expansion of perception, a consistently shared teaching about consciousness after it is freed from the body. Ancient wisdom teaches that when consciousness is released from physical form, it gains a far more expansive awareness. The soul, from this perspective, can perceive the currents of thought, the waves of emotion, and the spiritual qualities that were veiled during its physical journey. This is not seen as a special power, but as the natural state of awareness, once it is no longer filtered through the 5 senses. What you might call intuition in your physical life becomes the normal way of perceiving. The spirit can sense the emotional and spiritual well-being of others, both those in the physical world and other souls on their own journey. In many traditions, it's described how a departed spirit can perceive the love, the grief, or the inner state of their family and friends on earth. This wider view extends to what is sometimes called soul recognition, the ability to see the true spiritual nature and path of other beings. This expanded awareness, however, does not unfold instantly. It develops as the soul finds its balance in this new state. Some adapt to these deeper ways of seeing very quickly, while others need more time to understand and navigate their boundless consciousness. The pace of this adaptation is often linked to one's spiritual focus and inner sensitivity during life. What's particularly interesting is how this enhanced perception deepens the soul's understanding of its own journey. With this clarity, you can see the profound spiritual meaning behind the events, relationships, and choices of your life. This brings a deeper comprehension of the lessons, connections, and opportunities for growth that were always present. The great traditions consistently teach that this wider view serves your continued education and development in the realms of spirit. But allow this to settle, for there is an even deeper insight that emerges from these timeless teachings about the journey that follows. In a few moments, I will share the fourth experience, something that illuminates why our growth continues even after physical life ends, and invites us to reconsider what we think we know about this transition. The fourth consistently held insight involves the continuation of your core being and mental path after death. This teaching profoundly reshapes our understanding of conscious survival. It suggests that death does not instantly change the essence of who you are or erase your inner landscape. The ancient paths teach that your individual spirit retains its essential nature, including both your strengths and the areas that still invite inner work. This principle is a fundamental truth in many teachings about the soul's ongoing journey. This continuation of your core self is why the essence of a person can still be felt, their unique way of being. They maintain their fundamental structure as they adapt to a new way of existing. But here is where the teaching becomes truly profound. This continuation includes both the beautiful and the challenging aspects of your character. Your fears, your attachments, and your unresolved emotional currents do not simply vanish. Instead, the soul continues to work with these very patterns as part of its ongoing growth. This wisdom appears throughout traditions that speak of the soul's long journey. It is taught that consciousness continues its evolutionary path, carrying forward the mental and spiritual imprints developed during physical life. Your learning continues just as it does in this life, but often with a greater clarity and understanding because of the expanded awareness now available to you. The journey after life becomes a space for continued learning rather than a final destination. What's particularly fascinating is how the learning opportunities are described. Spirits can learn from wise guides, work to heal old wounds, develop deeper compassion, and prepare for future paths of service. This teaching shows us why cultivating our inner landscape in this life is so important. Because your consciousness carries these patterns forward, the inner work you do now creates the very foundation for your continued growth and service beyond this life. And here is the most profound phenomenon that these timeless teachings share about the immediate experience after life. This one insight has guided spiritual seekers for countless generations. The fifth and most significant experience is the journey of life reflection, and the description of this offers unparalleled insight into how consciousness learns from its physical path. According to this wisdom, shortly after passing, the soul undertakes a complete reflection on the life it has just completed. This is not described as a judgment, but as a natural process of spiritual integration and learning, serving the soul's own evolution. The teachings emphasize that this life reflection is for education, not for punishment. From a place of expanded awareness, the soul examines its choices, relationships, and growth. This process helps you to understand the lessons and the areas that require continued attention. It is described as seeing your journey from a completely new vantage point, where you can perceive the full ripple effect of your actions and intentions on yourself and on others. This enhanced view includes seeing the spiritual meaning of events, understanding karmic connections, and recognizing moments where opportunities for growth and service were missed. What makes this description so powerful is that the reflection happens with total clarity and gentle honesty. The soul cannot hide from its own truth. However, this entire process is held in an atmosphere of unconditional love and understanding, not condemnation. It is taught that this process is guided by a divine presence, a universal compassion that helps the soul see its experiences from the highest spiritual perspective. The process is loving and educational, focused entirely on learning, not on punishment. During this reflection, souls often feel immense gratitude for the chances they had to serve and to grow, as well as a genuine understanding of actions that may have caused difficulty for others. This emotional heart of the reflection deepens the soul's compassion and wisdom. According to this ancient wisdom, this life reflection becomes the very foundation for the soul's continuing path. The insights gained here will guide the soul's next steps in service and development. This process also helps you to understand your connections with others, family, friends, teachers, even adversaries, from a completely new light. Relationships that seemed confusing or difficult in life now reveal their deeper spiritual purpose. These 5 experiences, the gentle adjustment of awareness, the transition through the energy body, the expansion of perception, the continuation of your core being, and the journey of life reflection, represent the most consistent insights into the immediate experience after life, drawn from humanity's deep wellspring of contemplative wisdom. What makes these teachings so meaningful is their coherence. They are not isolated ideas, but recurring themes that arise from a profound, inward gaze into the nature of consciousness. They have been shared by those seeking to understand the journey of the soul and the continuity of life. Perhaps most importantly, these perspectives on the great transition serve to illuminate and enrich our understanding of life itself. The consistent message is that understanding the nature of consciousness and its survival should inspire you to live with greater awareness and a more compassionate heart during your time here. These teachings suggest that death is not an ending, but a transition, not a finality, but an opportunity for continued learning and growth. This perspective transforms how we view both living and dying, encouraging our spiritual development, our kindness to others, and a recognition of the eternal nature of our own awareness. The consistent message is that the quality of your onward journey is directly shaped by the spiritual cultivation you achieve in this physical life. This is not about earning your way to a better place, but about preparing your own consciousness for the expanded awareness and opportunities available in a wider existence. If these reflections have expanded your own understanding, please take a moment to integrate them. Consider how these perspectives might influence your own spiritual journey and your preparation for the ultimate transition we all share. The greatest wisdom is always in how we apply these truths to enrich our current lives. To live fully now is the best preparation for any future state of being. The purpose is not to look away from this existence, but to make the most of every precious opportunity for inner growth and for service, while you have the gift of being in this world.